What if I told you that the fastest cars on Earth aren't just built to win races? They're built to win balance sheets, that beneath the roar of engines and the glamour of champagne showers lies one of the most audacious financial machines ever constructed. You see, Formula One isn't just a sport. It's not just speed. It's a battlefield of billionaires where risk is currency and chaos is strategy. While most people watch the race, the real game happens behind the paddock on spreadsheets, in contracts, in the cold-blooded math of return on investment. So here's the truth: these teams aren't throwing money into fire for fun. They're playing a long game most of us never see. A game of global branding, technical supremacy, and legacy building. And today we're going to break it open piece by piece, because this isn't about racing anymore. This is about how you turn burning hat into building empires. To understand how F1 teams make money, you first have to stop thinking like a fan and start thinking like an investor. This is not NASCAR. This is not street racing. Formula One is a corporate chessboard that just happens to run on jet fuel and carbon fiber. And at the center of it all is the Formula One Group, a $3.65 billion a year engine of commercial power. But here's the twist: this group doesn't even run a team. It's the league, the promoter, the media empire. It earns through four cylinders of revenue: broadcasting, race hosting fees, global sponsorships, and digital and merchandise streams. Imagine it like a pit stop with four synchronized arms. Broadcasting alone pulls in $1.2 billion because networks and streaming giants are willing to pay millions for the privilege of delivering these races to living rooms around the globe. Hosting fees. Another $1 billion paid by governments and venues just for the honor of painting their skyline behind a finish line. And sponsorships. We're talking Heineken, Aramco, Rolex, brands that have nothing to do with engines, but everything to do with prestige. Because aligning with F1 means aligning with power, speed, and elite performance. But here's where it flips. Formula One doesn't keep all the cash. Roughly 38% of that multi-billion-dollar pie, about $1. $2 billion is distributed to the 10 teams under a shadowy agreement called the Concord Agreement. But this isn't socialism. This isn't even capitalism. It's legacy privilege. Ferrari gets more just for showing up because they've been around the longest. Winning matters. History matters. And so the distribution isn't equal. It's a mirror of dominance. So now you have a picture. Revenue flows from fans to networks to Formula One Group, then trickles down to teams based on performance, seniority, and prestige. And for many teams, that prize money is the spark, not the fuel. The real fuel comes next. Now that you know how the money flows in, let's talk about how it explodes out. Because running an F1 team is not business as usual. It's war. And every war needs an army and a weapon. In this case, the weapon is the car. A rolling prototype with more R&D behind it than most military drones. Teams like Mercedes or Red Bull will spend over $400 million a year chasing milliseconds. Every bolt, every curve, every fraction of downforce is engineered, tested, and re-engineered. These are not cars. These are moving laboratories, and the cost astronomical. Just the engine, if you're buying one, is about $15 million. And if you're building your own, add another zero. Then there's the people. A top-tier team can employ over 1,000 people. Aerodynamicists, strategists, simulation engineers, logistics managers. It's a circus of geniuses, and it travels to 24 different countries in less than 9 months. The shipping costs alone are in the tens of millions. You don't fly economy when you're racing gravity. And then there are the drivers, the warriors. Some start at $500,000 per year. But the elites, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, they're pulling $50 to $60 million annually. And that's before endorsements. Which is why in T1 Formula One did the unthinkable. They installed a budget cap. Teams were told to limit spending to $145 million, now down to $135 million. Sounds fair? It's not. Because driver salaries, executive compensation, and marketing are conveniently excluded from that cap. So while smaller teams play fair, the giants play smart. The budget cap became a floor for creativity. Legal loopholes became race-winning strategies. Welcome to financial warfare on four wheels. But what if you're not Red Bull or Ferrari? What if you're a newcomer, a dreamer with ambition and capital? Could you build your own F1 team? The short answer: technically yes. Practically only if you're willing to burn nearly $1 billion before your first race. You'll need to pay a $200 million anti-dilution fee just to get your foot in the door. Then you'll need infrastructure, a factory, a wind tunnel racing, simulators, engineers, a logistics team. That's another $100, $200 million. Then comes the car, $150 million if you want to be competitive. And then you'll need to fund operations for at least 2 years before you start earning prize money. This is not a business you enter casually. It's an elite club with a cover charge higher than the GDP of some countries. That's why new teams are rare and why the Andretti Cadillac bid was met with so much resistance. Legacy teams don't want dilution. They've fought to turn red ink into black. They've clawed value out of brand equity. Williams Racing, once a backmarker, was bought for $180 million in 2020. Today it's worth over $1.2 billion. That's a 600% return. An F1 value isn't just built on speed, it's built on scarcity, on branding, on storytelling. These teams are becoming more like Disney franchises than sports organizations. And in that light, every car crash is marketing. Every podium is a billboard. Every logo on the car is real estate on a rocket. So if prize money doesn't cover the bills and teams are spending like sovereign nations, where's the ROI? Simple, it's in the stickers. Sponsorship is the lifeblood of modern F1. Not because it's flashy, but because it's strategic. Oracle pays Red Bull over $100 million per year for title sponsorship. Other brands pay between $1 million to $30 million depending on logo size and placement. But here's the part that outsiders miss. The true value isn't the logo, it's the access. It's the Paddock Club, that velvet-roped arena where deals are brokered over caviar and horsepower. In F1, B2B relationships thrive. Tech firms close contracts. Banks sign clients. Fortune 500 companies network over espresso as cars scream past. It's not just about TV eyeballs, it's about FaceTime with COOs and decision makers. Sponsoring an F1 team isn't a marketing expense, it's a business development investment. That's why even companies with zero consumer visibility like software infrastructure firms are investing millions into teams. Because the ROI doesn't show up on billboards. It shows up on contracts. In this world, influence is the engine, and reputation. That's the fuel. F1 used to be a black hole for capital, a passion project for billionaires, a marketing stunt for car manufacturers. But things are changing. Since Liberty Media acquired the league in 2017, F1 has become a global entertainment brand. Drive to Survive on Netflix exploded fan engagement. New races in Las Vegas and Miami brought in younger, wealthier audiences. And under the new budget cap, several teams have finally turned a profit. Mercedes reported over $80 million in earnings in 2023. McLaren went from loss to profit in just 1 year. Valuations have soared. In 2017, Liberty bought F1 for $4.6 billion. By 2024, it's valued at nearly $30 billion. That's not a sport. That's an empire. And teams are now treating themselves like media properties, leveraging social media, gaming, influencer partnerships. F1 isn't just cars anymore. It's content. And content is currency. Every race is a show. Every pit stop a plot twist. This is how passion becomes enterprise. How noise becomes narrative. How speed becomes structure. The game has changed, and those who adapt will own the future. So no, F1 teams don't make money by racing. They make money by storytelling, by turning motion into meaning, by converting adrenaline into attention. This sport is a masterclass in branding, resilience, strategy, and patience. It teaches us that real wealth isn't loud, it's engineered. It's planned. It's earned lap by lap, not in haste, but in harmony. And maybe you won't buy a team. Maybe you won't build an engine. But if you can learn what F1 mastered, how to turn pressure into performance and vision into value, then you're already on your own track. And the finish line, it's not just profit, it's power with purpose. So share this video. Subscribe for more truth behind the world's financial engines. And remember, while most people just watch the race, the bold ones learn how the business works and build something faster than fear, stronger than failure, and greater than speed. Let's go.